saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light.
Hey there, I am so excited that you had decided to join us for this special event. It's something we've been working towards for quite a while now, and we're super excited to share with you the new album that are finally released called Surrender. Surrender is definitely a project that we put a lot of love and effort into, and hope that it is a blessing to you as it has been to us as we've gone along the journey of learning what does surrender mean. Surrender is not just giving up, but it's giving in to what God has for our lives and trusting Him and having the faith to allow Him to move and direct us so that we can have truly an abundant life and share the message, the good news of Jesus with those around us. Tonight, we want to share some songs with you. Want to have a time of just fellowship and just fun, and also share with you some of the guests that were a part of the project and be singing along with them. And I think it's going to be a really fun time. Thank you so much for being here. Later on, we want to give you an opportunity, if you'd like, to be able to download the album or even purchase the CD. And you just go to my website. It's scottbelin.com, and there you'll find the information that you need, and along with a few other things that I think you might appreciate as well. I want to introduce you guys to some friends of mine who have decided to come and be here with me so graciously. You probably know this man right here standing next to me. This is Jeff Anderson from Veritas. And if you don't know who Veritas is, you need to figure out who they are. We'll help you out with that. And then sitting right over there is my friend Jeremy Good. And Jeremy's going to play for us today. It's going to be a special time, and we're thankful that you're here, Jeremy, so appreciate it. So, Jeff, I want to talk to you real quick. Tell us real quick about those people who don't know who Veritas is. Just explain to us a little bit about the group. I know you guys have opened up for Sandy, Patty, and others, but just tell us a little bit about Veritas.
Yeah, Veritas is 7 years old. We're five guys that we call ourselves a contemporary classical vocal group. So what that means is that we have five vocalists that have all been classically trained, but we all have different kind of stylings that we enjoy ourselves. So I'm more of a gospel R&B singer. We have a guy that's a little bit more of a Broadway singer. We have a rock singer, and then two really legit classical opera singers. And so when you put all that sound together, we just call it a wall of sound. And but we've been touring all over the country for the last 7 years and had some incredible opportunities. But one of the greatest things that we get to do is meet wonderful people like yourself. And so it's been a real pleasure and a joy for me to be able to get to know you, your heart, and your vision, and your ministry that you want to do musically. And so it's an honor for me to be here. Well,
I appreciate it, man. Jeff and I got to meet each other. Both I worked at Second Baptist for a long time, and Jeff and the group were coming through, and we just kind of have become friends from that, and it's been really cool. You guys have been performing at Second for like the last 7 or 8 years, right?
Yeah, we call it home, for all of us. And I actually moved here to Houston because of Second. And so, but we try to get here about 3 or 4 times a year. And but a lot of us love it here in this area. So we're always glad to be in Texas.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and you know what, the fact that you were willing to come in and sing on this song with me really meant a lot to me. It really did.
Well, I was honored that you asked. It's not every day you get opportunity to sing with other people and great artists, so it's always a great opportunity for me.
The reason that I chose this song and wanted Jeff to sing along with me is God really laid it on my heart, and the verse that you'll hear here in just a minute that Jeff actually sings is what really just absolutely took this over the top for me, and really felt like this is something that I needed to do on this album. And you'll hear it. Who could imagine so great a mercy? What heart could actually fathom what Jesus did for us? He rose from the grave, out of the tomb. What an amazing thing.
The chasm that lay between us, how high the mountain I could not climb, in death desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night. Then through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows of my soul. Then work is finished, the end is written on Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Who could imagine so great a mercy? What heart could fathom such boundless grace? The God of ages stepped down from glory to wear my sin and bear my shame. The cross has spoken, I am forgiven. The King of Kings calls me his own. Beautiful Savior, I'm yours forever. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Oh Jesus, yours is the Hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh, hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh God, you are my living hope. Yes. Woo. Good truth right there.
Amen.
Good truth.
Thank you, man.
You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh God, you are
There have been so many special people who have been a part of this project, and one who certainly fits that bill is Rob Burrell. Rob is the mastering and mixing engineer for this project, and he has worked in the industry for a number of years with the likes of Michael W. Smith and Carrie Underwood and many others. And he graciously gave us his time to help be a part of this. And I'm so thankful for that. But Rob, if you would take just a few moments and tell us exactly what it is you do. What does that mean to be a master and mix engineer?
A mixing engineer, what we do is we take all of the material that's been recorded on each song, and then we, in a computer and a mixing console, we combine all that together and make it sound like what you hear in the end. And so that's the role that I had, and I love the process of mixing. I've been doing it a long time. A few of the people that I've worked with in the past, Michael W. Smith, I've done a lot of records with Michael, going back to the mid-90s. Amy Grant, I've worked with Carrie Underwood. It's a long list, and I am very grateful to have worked with some not only amazing artists, but amazing people in my career. Very thankful.
Well, you truly are a talent, and I thank you so much for that. Now, as you've worked on this project, was there a song that really stood out to you as just like a really, really fun song?
I would have to say the most fun was probably I Saw the Light. The reason for that being is that it starts off with a low simmer of what's going on, and you know something big is about to happen, but you're not sure what, as it just simmers there. And then it grows and explodes, and by the end, it's literally just a party and a celebration. And John, who was the producer, and Scott, what they did with all of the arrangement of the instruments was just fantastic. It was wonderful. It was so much fun to work on, but musically it had so much energy, and I just loved it. So if I had to pick one that was the most fun, I would say I Saw the Light. Yeah,
most people that hear it have said the same thing, that I Saw the Light is a lot of fun. It gets big and huge, and it's really cool. Now tell me, because you've told me before, there was a song in this project that really meant something to you personally. Do you mind sharing that with us?
I have to be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed this entire project. There was something beautiful about how unique each song was, and the message portrayed in each one. And I'm a very emotional mix guy. I really am about the song, and all of these songs are so incredible, speaking to different things from hope to surrendering to Christ, to the revelation of I Saw the Light. But I would have to say, if there was something that really stuck with me, and it was probably because of just where I was at personally when I mixed it, Sometimes It Takes a Mountain turned out to be a very special song for me. I literally months later have it ringing in my head still, and a reminder in my heart a lot of times when I need to hear that. It's just a very raw and personal picture of the way our hearts work, and how that works with our lives. And I think it was a beautiful production, beautifully performed, but really, really spoke to me on a personal level.
Well, Rob, thank you again. This project would not be what it is without you, so thank you.
It was a true pleasure, and we had a lot of fun while we were making it.
Sometimes it takes a mountain. Sometimes a troubled sea. Oh, sometimes it takes a desert.
began thinking through the titles of this song and thinking what we wanted to do with each one to make them special. My wife, Lorianne, had a fantastic idea of me singing a duet with my sweet little girl, Anna Lee. And she's not so little anymore, although I do joke about that quite a bit. But she's a phenomenal talent, and we are so very proud of her. She's an actress. She sings. She dances. Just a performer extraordinaire. And but we had a great time being able to be in the studio together, and it was just really neat for me as a dad to be able to see her growing up in this way. But Annalie, obviously this is not your first time in the studio.
No.
And we did some work with doing some background vocals on another project. But tell me what it was like with this one, actually kind of being having the spotlight put on you.
Well, I mean, it was a little different because, it was not, I mean, it was only you in the room, but knowing that other people were listening to you and like you wanted to, be able to be yourself, but at the same time you thought about it like they're still listening to you.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. And it was cool because we had the whole family there. We would have used her brother, but he was touching all the buttons and everything in the in the broadcast booth. But anyway, we had a great time, and this was a great song. And one of the reasons I chose this song, or the verse I should say, that really comes to mind as I was thinking about this song was found in Mark chapter 9. And it's where the man is coming to Jesus, and he wants his daughter to be healed. And in verse 23 it says, "What do you mean if I can?" Jesus asked. And he said, if a person believes, then the Father instantly, at that point, he cried out, "I do believe, but help my unbelief." That's what this song talks about in Give Me Faith. I've struggled for many years with having the faith to be able to trust God. And that's what this whole project is about, is learning to trust and surrender.
Soften my heart and break me apart. I need you. I need you to open my eyes to see that you're shaping my life. All I am, I surrender. Trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life. I need you to soften my heart and break me apart. I need you to pierce through the dark and cleanse every part of me. All I am, I surrender. Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life. 'Cause I may be weak, your spirit strong in me. My flesh may fail, Christ our King. Your name, by your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King, give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life. Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life.
I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all.
So, John, this project could not have happened without you. You wrote, you played, you engineered, you produced, and I don't think it's any coincidence that you also wrote a book under the same title. Seriously, man, you did an absolutely fantastic job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. It was such an honor to be a part of it. Such a joy in every aspect of the word. And so I just appreciated the honor of even getting to be a part of it. It was amazing.
Originally, when we came to you, we asked you to help us with one song for the project, and then it actually turned into you doing the entire album. And after I talked with you about the song choices that I had, how did you take those songs and turn them from what they were, because they are cover tunes, how did you take them from what they were into what we hear today? Mm-hmm. Kind of what's the timeline and the process behind all that?
Yeah, that was quite the process, but it was really, really fun to kind of dive into original arrangements and really think through how we wanted this to go and what we wanted it to be. And then just creatively began to try and think outside the box. And so typically the way that starts for me, I know a lot of guys have a lot of different approaches to it, but for me, the way that started was I would sit down and kind of play through changes, get ideas, take things. I remember asking you what recordings inspired you to go this direction, and then I would just kind of begin from there and work up changes, and then begin to evolve the thought process beyond the chord changes into the actual aspect of the production, which involved like what all would be involved. So with something that with like I Saw the Light, there was a lot of moving parts in that, and so to think through. And you said you wanted kind of a Greatest Showman kind of vibe, but yeah, you didn't want to go that far with it production wise, but you still needed to remain true to who you were. And so just, with that kind of project, with that kind of production mindset, began to think, okay, so we need to have kind of a choir aspect to this, a small group ensemble that can really knock some stuff out of the park, and really begin to line those things out, and think in that vein. So what all instrumentally needed to be involved, there's additionally more aspects than just bass, guitar, drums, and B3 to that. There's a small group ensemble, there's a larger group ensemble, then there's your vocals, Scott, and then there's all the layers that we have to do with that. But then also the additional things that really make that song pop are additional things like a banjo. We had Wanda Vic Birchfield play, and she was fantastic on that. Greg Hagan just really did an amazing job kind of helping me rein in some of those ideas on guitar and things of that nature. And then, thinking about things as well as like adding stomps and claps and things like that. So that kind of process was involved. And then it was just a matter of beginning the production aspect of laying down, the rough tracks and bouncing on back and forth with you and myself. And then we went to the studio, recorded after we felt good about where the roughs landed, solidified them, then went to the studio and laid down bass and drums, and then begin to, delegate from there. And we'd throw it out to Greg to lay down guitars, throw it out to Blair Masters to do his B3 and keys work on stuff. And that was really kind of the process it went through. And then until we got to the lead vocals, which was you or Jeff or Anna Lee. And man, it was just such a fun process to be involved with, including the choir and all that stuff. A lot of pieces to bring together, but so much fun. And it's hard to describe all those things at once unless you're involved in the process. But it was a blast.
Well, now, obviously, I Saw the Light is a super fun tune, and most everybody that hears it kind of has said the same thing. But was there another song or a moment during the process that really stood out to you?
Absolutely. I think the one that comes to my mind considerably is actually the song "I Surrender All." It's probably the most simple song that we did on the entire project. It's just piano and vocal. But that song's near and dear to me for a number of different reasons. But I think the thing that really spoke to me the most, I remember coming home and telling Sarah about it and just saying, when we were in the studio laying that down, Scott, you got very emotional. And we actually had to stop tracking part of that song because you started tearing up in the middle of it and just singing it through while recording it. And we actually were able to capture a little bit of that. But I just think, seeing your heart towards surrender and surrender towards your love and life for Jesus, so inspiring. And to see that translate in that song in the studio at that moment was really touching. And it ministered to me. And I think it's going to minister to a lot of people. I mean, we captured a lot of raw emotion in that song. And so I think that's probably one of the songs that stood out to me the most and really, really just kind of hit home with me.
I appreciate that. What did it mean to you to work on these songs?
Yeah, there was quite a bit.
Did God do anything in your own life through the course of producing this EP?
There's always amazing things that come with these productions and amazing relationships that get to be made. And so I really enjoyed getting to know you, Scott, through this process a lot more and a lot better, and see your heart. And so I appreciate the friendship that the Lord brought together there. I think was, that's something He brings into all of our lives for a lot of benefits, friendship. And so I really appreciated that. And through that, got to know your family better and got to just see how you operate with your family, and just you as the headship of your home, but then how you and Lorianne really work together, and just to see your children and how amazing your kids are. Really spoke to Sarah and I, and just through this process. And I think that, it really doesn't have anything necessarily to do with music, but music is what introduced that relationship, is what introduced that example, is what introduced so much of what we value and respect as a family, as our family is. And so, I think that's one way that God really, really moved in my heart through this process. And the other is just continuing to build relationships with guys that I've never worked with before. There were a couple guys on this project that I was fortunate enough to be able to call that I'd actually never worked with before. Had Blair Masters being one of them. I mean, that guy's played on so many records. It's mind blowing. And have always, had a friendship there, but never a working relationship. It was the first time I actually got to work with him. And so that was amazing. Juan Birchfield, the same thing. And so, God opening up those doors through musical production and all of that is also another amazing door that He opened up, which, opens up other fun opportunities and stuff like that. So it's really, really neat. So yeah, there's a whole lot there.
thank you again for all you did to make Surrender happen. You are an absolute talent beyond my understanding, and your heart for God is so evident. And that also helped me during the process of recording this project to help keep me focused and grounded while we were in the studio. And so I really, really appreciate that. And I just want to say thank you. I've told you many times over that your talent blows me away, but thank you for how you use it for God.
Thank you so much, Scott, for asking me to be a part of it. It really was such a joy, and I look forward to doing things like this with you in the future. And man, I really, really appreciate the opportunity and for you taking that chance. And so it was a blast. And for the viewers, I really hope you guys enjoy this project. It was a lot of fun, a lot of, as they would say, blood, sweat, and tears. And it just was a blast to bring together. And I hope you feel that. I hope you feel the energy of that. And I really hope you're blessed by what we sought to put together. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Scott, thank you so much, man. Such a blast. And Jeff, I know you're there. Dude, having you be a part of this project was absolutely amazing. And so, and Anna Lee, to see you even bloom as a vocalist through this process was really, really neat. And so you just did an outstanding job. Blew me away in the studio because I know that we challenged you in a couple of places, and you just stepped right to the microphone. So thank you guys so much. The entire process was a blast, and I just really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you for being here, for joining with us and celebrating this album, Surrender. You can go to scottbelin.com where you can buy the CD, download it, and I'd love to know what you thought about it. Thank you again for being here. Thank you to those of you who've been such an encouragement to me over the years. Thank you to my wife, Lorianne, who has been an encouragement and spurred me along when I needed it most. I hope you guys have an absolutely blessed week. Take care.